Hi, Michael Yardney here, and welcome to another Rich Habits, Poor Habits webcast. Welcome, Tom Corley.
Hey, Michael, it's good to be back.
Now, if you're enjoying these webcasts or you've enjoyed reading Tom and my book, Rich Habits, Poor Habits, why don't you pass it on to somebody else? Share the link to this video through your social media, or if you've been watching it on our websites, pass the link on to somebody, because we love getting the message out, don't we, Tom?
I'm so excited about this. This book is really revolutionary. It's what makes it so unique, Michael, is it's you and I collaborating on our shared wisdom. And I guess if you add our wisdom together, you probably got about 60 years there, right?
That's right. Well, it took us a long time to become wise, and now it's all starting to fall into place, Tom. Today, I'd actually like to talk about the concept of what becoming rich means. Now, we spend a lot of time in these webcasts talking about rich and poor, and I just want to remind people that this is not a judgment of people when we say rich or poor. Everyone is very valuable. You can't put a value on people, and we spend a lot of time talking about money, but I also want to remind you that we fully understand that true wealth doesn't mean how much money you've got, how many properties you've got, how big your business is. True wealth has to do with your friends, your family, your spirituality, your health, but you actually need money also to be able to enjoy it and to contribute to the community. So, Tom, I know in your studies you found there are 4 ways to becoming rich. So let's talk about money today.
Sure. So what I discovered in my research is there's 4 essential paths to wealth. One is live below your means, and this means just what it sounds like. You spend
less than you earn.
Yeah, that's exactly it, and you save the rest. And the idea there is to save 10 to 20 to 30% of your income. Pay yourself first. You know, that's something that a lot of people have talked about, not just us. But the other way is to expand your means. And that means to increase your income. You can do it in a number of ways. One of the ways I found in my research was self-made millionaires had multiple streams of income. They had multiple sources of income. So that's a second way. The third way, which I think is the ideal way, is to do both. You live below your means and you expand your means at the same time. And then, of course, there's the fourth way, which I unfortunately, this is the way that the path to wealth for a lot of poor people, at least in their mind, and that's just to get lucky. This is, playing the lottery, going to the slots, going to the gambling halls or whatever, or inheriting money from someone that you never expected to inherit the money from. So those are the 4 paths to wealth.
Now, if we look at each of those in a bit more detail, living below your means is nothing new. The Richest Man in Babylon, that famous book, it was written in close to a century ago. And people dismiss that, thinking that it's not that important. But it goes back to what we discussed in our previous video, Tom, where you've really got to learn to delay gratification, don't you?
Well, you look, if you're not making a lot of money, what options do you have? Your only option is to live below your means. It's to spend less than you earn and save it and then invest it. And here's an interesting thing about living below your means and saving money. Somewhere down the line, an opportunity might present itself. And this has happened in my research. Many of the self-made millionaires, 41% of the self-made millionaires came from poverty. And how they were able to start their business or pursue a dream was they lived below their means. They saved up some money. They had a little bit of a nest egg, and then they deployed it in some way, shape, or form on opportunities. They took a risk with their money, but you can't take a risk with your money if you have no money. So living below your means really gives you more opportunities to grow your wealth.
Now, the other point you made is expand your means, and what that means is don't just rely on one pillar of income, be it your job or be it your business or be it your profession. So similarly to you, Tom, I've found all successful people have multiple streams of income. Now, that doesn't always mean diversify. If you're good at real estate investing, you would own multiple investments because you may not be good at stock market investing. If you're good at stock market investing, then don't diversify to something that you're not good at, but get other streams of income within your areas of specialty. So become good at something, become an expert at something, and then diversify your means.
Yeah, that's right. These multiple streams of income that seem to pop up with the self-made millionaires. And I think in my study, on average, 65% of the self-made millionaires had 3 streams of income. So and at some point they had to focus their energy and their resources on each individual stream, grow it, and then it would get to a point where they could put people in charge and helping them run one of the streams. Then they move on to the next stream. So they kind of process this success, this wealth building strategy of using multiple streams. They kind of create a process where they develop the stream and then they delegate the responsibility to someone to manage it so they can move on to the next thing.
Well, we're doing both of those. Personally, we're living below our means. We both have multiple streams of income. I know you've got a CPA practice, but you're also a financial planner and you're an author and you're an investor. Similarly, I've got a national business, plus I'm an investor, and I've got other streams of income. So I fully agree with you with that. So we're doing both. And when you do that, and the fourth thing that you mentioned happens, you get lucky. You're then in the position to take advantage of that. The unfortunate situation is most of those people who haven't got the right headspace, who don't have the rich habits, and they get lucky, we know what happens to them, don't we, Tom?
Yeah, and what's interesting is, and maybe this is a little bit controversial, but wealthy people are luckier than poor people. And the reason they're luckier is because they've got more things going on. They've got more assets. They're able to use their money to invest in different things. And when, the venture capitalists, they've got this thing buttoned down. They invest in 10 things and they hope that 2 of them will take off. Well, if you're rich, Michael, you can do that. But if you're poor, you can't. So it's wealthy people have the ability to get lucky more often than poor people.
And of course, by doing more things and by having rich habits and rich thinking, they make their own luck too, don't they, Tom?
Yeah, that's right. They make it, and I found in my research that how they make their luck is just simply by being persistent. They are relentless and they keep at it. It's they don't get up to bat once and say, well, I struck out, that's it, I'm going to try something else. They get up 1,000 times and they strike out maybe 999 times, and then they hit a grand slam on the last at bat.
So in summary, if you want to become rich, spend less than you earn, expand your means as well, and work really hard, be persistent, and then you'll get lucky as well. Thanks for your time, Tom. Look forward to having another one of these sessions next week.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. I enjoyed it.